management part. So as I said, first the consent starts with designing the consent, and then at suitable places you publish the consent in forms of CDNs, emails, or the communication channels that you have, or the physical form. And then you provide the users with the so if you are publishing a consent which has a limited lifetime, then as soon as the consent expires, you need to build a governance around how to manage those consents which have expired, and and you need to record those consents as well. Whatever consents you seek from the users, from the end users, you need to record those consent with timestamps and everything, so that you follow the entire process of governance, the consent governance around the consent that you've taken. So consent can be collected in multiple formats. It can be through a user consent, which could be through a physical form or an electronic form. Second could be a cookie consent, and third one is a manual upload consent form. So you build a form, you scan that form and upload it on the platform. So obtaining consent, as I said, multiple use of technology, multiple ways in which you can obtain the consent. It could be through a CDN, it could be through an API, it could be through one manual form, emails, WhatsApp, or any suitable technology solution that you have in your organization through which you want to obtain the consent. All these consents can be recorded and obtained from those technology platforms. So this is a brief overview or a dashboard of the consent that we have built on a platform. On the left side, you can see that the different modes in which the consent is collected, what all different data types the consent has been collected, and total consents that are collected, how many of them have been accepted, revoked, declined, and whether or not you have collected a parental consent. If you collected a parent if a child has submitted a consent, whether or not you have collected the parent consent, and the different other dashboards that you have for the purpose of information, or for ensuring different reports and reporting part that you have as part of your organization requirements or compliance requirements. Now, second part comes around the data governance. Now, DSPM is a very uh, trending technology at the moment. So DSPM is all about data security posture management, where you discover, classify, uh, do risk assessment, and then do patching as well. So the entire life cycle of the governance is managed through the DSPM part. So now if I talk about how the DSPM works, so the DSPM starts with doing data discovery, and then you classify the data, you do risk assessments, and whatever gaps you identify with respect to the governance or the risk that you identify, then you can build the policy and you can enforce the policy, and then you have a continuous monitoring system where you continuously uh, monitor the entire data that flows within the organization. Now, the big question towards the data landscape that any organization has, that where is my data? Again, this is a big question which organizations ask, that because data could be lying anywhere. It could be in a legacy system, it could be in a database, it could be in a dev environment, your UAT, or at a different location in a production environment. There could be multiple copies of those data could have been created. It could be downloaded on the endpoints, or the operations team could have it. So all these places, you can discover the data with the DSPM solution. And then the second point comes in data tagging and classification. Now, this feature, with this, what you can do is you can automate the data classification and tagging in a way that system will automatically tag the metadata of the documents with whatever rules that you define on the platform. So this is the automatic data classification that we have built in. If you have a DLP solution in place, this feature will augment to the DLP, because you are putting in you have defined the classification for if a particular data set is identified with respect to privacy, then you can automatically classify those documents, and you can ensure that secure data travels within the organization. It doesn't move outside the organization. Uh, uh, how do you access the data? Again, this comes into the data governance. Once you have the data, once you've done the risk assessment, then you can build the data governance around it. You can have the entire governance, and then you can the data risk management can be embedded as part of the governance, and then you can showcase the compliance towards data privacy laws that you have, and the different uh, just a moment, I'm losing you. Sorry. Okay. Now, the benefits of DSPM: it will reduce the security risk with respect to the data that you handle. Second is your enhanced compliance. You have a more secure data governance posture. It will improve your business efficiency, and then it will uh, inculcate customer trust. So, customer trust is the biggest thing that is there with respect to privacy. So, building this, enhancing this trust would definitely be an add-on for the organization. So the key features of the DSPM solutions are you have got data discovery and classification. Classification is automated in a way where you can update the metadata of the documents. So the entire solution, what it does, it doesn't read the metadata of the documents. What it does, it reads the actual content of the documents, or be it emails, your databases, or whatever, wherever the data is there at rest. Then it will read all those data, and then whatever rules you define, it will update the metadata of those documents. You can do risk assessments, and then you can do remediations as well. Again, your risk methodology with respect to data handling comes into picture, and then you can uh, build in controls and frameworks, and improve your frameworks around it. We have also given the options of training your with your own data. So we have a feature, the AIML feature, where your organization can train the solution with your specific data. Say, for example, you have a salary slip in a particular format. Now, you do not want the employees to share the salary slips among themselves, or you do not want copies of multiple salary slips at different locations. So what you can do, you can train the data on the structure of your salary slip, so that system can identify or the tool can identify different data types that are there in the given structure. And then once the system is trained, it will automatically identifies the data that flows across within the organization with respect to the structure that you have for salary slips, or if you have any other structure that you have. So you can train the solution all by yourself, and you have a clear visibility as to how the solution is training, and how the solution is working with respect to the data that you have taught the solution. Now, this is a brief of how the DSPM works on the cloud. So you have got various cloud technologies. So the system, again, it can discover, classify, do risk assessment and remediation on any of the cloud technologies. So you have got a OneDrive, your Azure, your Snowflake, your MongoDB, anywhere the data, if the data is present on cloud, you can easily discover it with the solution. This is a brief overview of how the DSPM works. As I said, you can discover the data. You can discover the data across multiple technology stack, and then you classify the data. You define all these tags as part of your custom requirements. So you can define all these classification tags based on the data sets, the privacy data sets that you are discovering as part of the solution. Besides the privacy data sets, you can also scan your custom data sets like your usernames, passwords, your access keys, your tokens, or any specific data sets that you want to scan. So, or any keyword scanning that you want to do. So you can do all these things. Suppose that you can do a risk assessment. You can quantify the risk associated with the identified data, and then define then you can define the controls that you want to implement with respect to handling of data. And then you can also take mitigation steps, like, say, for example, if you want to mask the data, delete the data, or encrypt the data, or move it to a secure vault. So all these actions can be taken from the DSPM platform that you have. Now, this is a quick brief of the dashboard that we have on the DSPM platform. Again, this particular page shows you how the data is identified across different hosts. What is the percentage of data that is identified across different hosts? These are the classification tags. Again, you define those classification tags. all by yourself, and then it showcases how much data is identified across different classification tags. What is the total volume of data that it has discovered? What is the risk meter? What are the top data types that it has identified across the entire scanning during the entire scanning, and other operational and management reporting dashboards that we have. Now, this page talks about the operations. This is more information towards the operations. So you can see here that when the scan was started, when did it ended, uh, uh, whether or not it was a full scan or an incremental scan, or and what was the location that that it had scanned. What is the total volume that was identified? So this was the total volume of data that was scanned, and this is the volume or count of data sets that were identified as part of the scanning activity. And these icons are for the purpose of reporting and managing the scans that you have. So this is the structure of the DSPM solution. So we have got two ways with which we can scan the infra. One is through agents. We can deploy the agents on the endpoints or on the servers, and the second one is through connectors. Connectors are used for remote login and scanning. So with the connectors, you can scan the clouds, you can scan the applications, and you can even scan the endpoints. Say, for example, if you have a legacy system in place, or you would not be able to deploy the agents, then with the connector you can remotely scan the endpoints of the servers, and you can definitely take actions with respect to the cloud storages that you have. And there are multiple platforms that the solution is supporting. So you can scan, as I said, you can scan Qualys. We have an end-to-end integration with Qualys, VMDR, as we are Qualys technology partner in the APAC region. So we have done an end-to-end integration where if a vulnerability is identified on your VMDR solution, then what you can do is system, as soon as any vulnerability is identified, system can initiate a scan of the entire drives that are there on the system, ensuring that if there's any critical data, then you can identify those data, and then you can put in the necessary controls to, in case any data leakage happens, or any malware is there which is copying and sending the data outside, you can stop that in time, or you can control that data. So this is one biggest use case that we have built with respect to integration with Qualys. Now, coming on the last part, which is the data subject access rights. Again, any privacy law or uh, any data governance that you plan to incorporate within the organization. So it talks about providing the rights to the end user, so that the end users can at any given point in time ask the data controller or the data processor to stop processing their data or stop storing their data. They can ask them to update the data. They can ask them to port their data to a different location or a different processor or a controller. So to achieve all these things, you need a system in place where you can record all these data subject access rights requests. You can initiate a scan and ensuring that you delete these customer related data, or you purge the customer related data, and then you have your the actions of data review redactation, where wherever it is required, you can limit or you can stop processing, or you can mask that those specific customer related information, and then you can even respond back to the customer, ensuring that you manage the entire compliance of the DSAR. So this is the DSAR dashboard. Again, this can be all. This is a sample that we have built up based on our understanding with the different clients that are using it. Now, it could be different in your organization, so all these things are customizable. Whatever process you have as part of the DSAR, you let us know, and we will have it defined on the platform. Now, the DSAR and the consent are workflow based. So we have incorporated the workflows on the platform. You can design your own custom workflows with for DSAR and consent. So all these things come as a bundled solution end to end together as part of the entire privacy solution that we have. DSPM is a separate solution. If you plan to take both DSAR and consent along with DSPM, we will bundle it in complete totality, and then we will deliver it to you. Because some customers only ask for DSPM, some customers ask for DSAR, some customer only ask for consent. That is the way the entire solution is structured. Whatever solutions you want, you can pick it off the shelf and then start using it. So this is in short the entire privacy platform or the privacy solution that we have, right from managing consents or consent management to DSAR to DSPM for data governance. So if you have got any further questions, I mean, if the floor is open for questions now. So I'm done with the presentation, sir.
Yeah, this looks interesting. There was one question which I wanted to know: is there anything specific related to if you know anything related to ROPA or DPI, if it can be done?
Yes, it can be done. So what I'll do, I'll quickly share the screen again. I'll
Yeah.
just showcase what we have done with respect to ROPAs and DPIs.
Because as far as I see, it's difficult to keep it manual. We have
Yeah.
to ensure that's in a dashboard.
So this is our GRC platform. So what we have done, DSPM is a complete separate platform. Both of them are built on the same platform. The technology stack is same for both the platforms. So since
So
it
even the
involves
risk register that you showed, that will also be the same, right? Something that we can customize.
yes, you can customize all these things. So this is the place where you can define the consent. You have the consent dashboards. You can publish the consent. So I'll just showcase you the consent dashboard. So how you're collecting the consent, parental consent, which are nearing expiring, and the consent types. And so these are different dashboards. These are all
Perfect. So
customizable.
so this is not specific to the customers. We can use it in-house also, where HR is also involved, right?
Yes, you can. So it comes with a universal consent. So you can use it anywhere, any number of applications.
Within the business.
Yeah,
Looks
within the
sounds
business.
yeah. Okay.
Yes, there is no capping on the even on the number of requests that you get. There is no capping on that. So it is a universal solution that we have built. Now, coming on the privacy, so you have a privacy, so you can do your PIA. I'll just showcase you how the PIA works. So this is the form where you capture the business details. You can so you start the privacy impact assessment by capturing all the details. What all data types that you process? What are the screening procedures? So again, these are sample questions that we have uploaded. And if you have your own screening procedure with respect to handling the kind of data. Now, say for example, you are doing a privacy impact assessment for multiple departments across the organization. Some departments, say for example, HR could be, there are multiple functions within the HR. So some functions could be using, they could be collecting the Aadhaar numbers or the PAN numbers of for the purpose of processing the payrolls. You could be having some EHS or the HR, which could be collecting only email IDs or to cater to internal employees. So every within the HR process, what you can do is you can put in the questions which could be applicable to them, which could not be applicable to them, and they can select the data types that they store, process, and for the purpose of their operations. And then you can put in the stakeholders. So now once all these things are identified, with this, you can automatically build the ROPAs. So based on the input information that you get, this is the way the ROPAs are automatically built. So you have got the business, the parent business, what is the life stage, what is the frequency with which you're storing and processing the data, whether or not it is active and review date, start date. So all these things are captured, and whatever data types you process, store, all these things are captured in the ROPAs. So again, even the ROPAs are customizable, whatever fields you want. You can create all these fields on the solution, and then you can manage the ROPAs, or you can do the PIA all by yourself. Now this is the dashboard where you get to see how many PIAs have been done, how many PIAs are inactive, how many PIAs are active. You get to classify which business process is a controller or is a data processor or doing the function of both. If you are sharing the data, or if there is any third party involved in storing and processing of your data, then these things are highlighted in the third party related businesses. And so these are all different dashboards. Again, these are all customizable. Whatever in requirements you have with respect to the reports and dashboards, you can let us know as part of the business requirement document, and then we will have it implemented for you on the platform.
Okay, so is there any module that is currently not in this? Because when we go ahead with the structuring this, it should not be that something is missing. So if there is anything missing, just let us know right now.
No, I don't. So, as I said, whatever the privacy law talks about, privacy law talks about providing access rights to the users seeking consent from them. So, all these things, doing privacy impact assessment. Doing privacy impact assessment, ROPAS is all about data governance. So, data governance, consent, and rights, all things are there on the platform. And if you have any specific requirements, as I said, now the solution is self-customizable. We give you the admin panel where you can define whatever applications you want on the platform. Say, for example, the modules that you have. Now you have a consent. Now you want one more module which could be specific to your organization. So what you can do is you can create that module all by yourself, or you can ask us to create it, and we will publish that. And then whatever dashboards and reports that you want to have, you can have it published on the platform.
Okay.
So it's a complete end-to-end solution that we have. And this is one interactive view which we have built, which will showcase you how the data is flowing within the organization across different departments. So this is a department which is being, so these are the third parties that are using the data that is there within the organization and how they are flowing further
Yeah, and
down.
now
And
this is a SaaS platform, right?
yeah, this is both SaaS and on-prem. So you can deploy the solution on premises. You can have it on SaaS. Both the
Okay.
options are available.
Okay. And if it's hosted online, it would be within the Indian region, right?
Yes, it will be within. It will be on AWS India, or
Okay.
it would be on Azure Cloud within India.
Fair enough.
नितिन जी हाय भाई
Yeah, Abhijit.
क्या रंजित sir, go ahead.
No, I was just coming to you only. Okay, continue.
Okay, Nitin ji, hi, bhai. So just one quick question. Let's say, for example, we have multiple departments, multiple products when it comes to from the business side. Okay, our organization is pretty straightforward. We are an NBFC, loan देने का हमारा काम है और collection का हमारा काम है. Correct. So our products, for example, are pretty straightforward. Example, home loan, two-wheeler loan, micro loan, so on and so forth. So can we design it this way? For example, this product, and it has this set of application, these set of business departments. Either it can be somebody, a department who's sourcing the PII information of the customers, process the loan, and there is another team which is responsible for the collections. As this management chart that you're presenting, can it be customized product wise, and what set of applications are there as well?
Yes, you can do that. So all those information would be available to you as. So that's what I said. Whatever requirements you have as part of customization, you let us know in the BRD, and then we will have it implemented for you. Because it is just a technology that we need to customize on the for you, and we need to incorporate it for you as per your requirements.
And let's say, for example, we already have procured the solution, and still in case if there's any BRD that we want to raise, how that process works? Is there any limited BRDs or some X number as annually? How that generally works?
So so you have a BRD, now you have one more change. So you have one more requirement. So you can raise a change request, and then we can incorporate that in on the platform.
So there is no limitation or anything as such or capping to that.
No. So it totally depends upon what kind of license that you take up. So now you have given us a PO for a certain set of activities. Now you want to add more activities to it. Then you can request for a change request, and then we can incorporate that during the delivery phase.
All right, makes sense. I have few more questions starting with consent management. So let's say, for example, as of now, all our consents are, it's not properly tracked centrally and managed centrally. All right. Let's say, for example, we have one of the customer facing app, only a couple of applications are there that are customer facing, but they have their respective databases where there's just a yes check mark whether the consent is secured or not. How can we migrate it from there to the central management?
Okay, so for that, I guess I need to involve my technical team because they are the ones who would be able to better give you this answer because I do not know how the technology works within an organization. So they are they are the one they can pose questions. However, for us, importing the data is not a challenge. Even exporting this data to your organization would not be a challenge. So let your question is very specific to a technology or technical thing. So we need to have some
But it
clarity
is
on how
doable,
they
right?
structure. Sorry.
But it's doable, right?
Yes, it sounds doable. Exporting between multiple databases is not a problem. Our solution itself is built on multiple databases. So what we have done, we have incorporated MySQL, MS SQL, and Oracle. So these are the if any customer has got any of the databases, then it's a plug and play kind of thing that we have done. So we have configured it. You just give us the database, and it's a plug and play. So we do not have to make any code level changes with the compatibility of the database. So we are trying to build it in a way where enterprise-wide use databases can be easily incorporated on the platform.
Makes sense. And also, let's say, for example, this will centrally act as a consent management for us in case we want to integrate with our existing application that any and every consent that is secured by the customer, that details are updated here. So obviously, we have to do an integration with our applications, right, for this consent management.
Correct.
How that works, sir, if you can just explain a
So
little.
if your application has existing applications wherever you have taken consent, so what you can do is either you can import those information from the database. So what we can do, we can build scripts, we can fetch that data from the database and put it here at regular intervals. Otherwise, if there's an API, we can fetch the information from the API and post it on the platform. Both the options are available. Whatever suits as technologically, whatever suits, we can have that incorporated on the cloud in your environment.
Yeah, Abhay, Sanjay here. Just
Yes,
thought I
Sanjay.
have, because we have multiple applications behaving different
Correct.
way to capture consent. What probably can be a thought, I mean, we have to still figure out that when there is a need for a consent in the workflow, the application should trigger to this application, and then it should throw up a page saying that now first you fill this, everything is filled, consent is taken, and it enters the database of compliance foresight, this product, data foresight, and then the screen goes away. So it will just come in the intervention of the user journey, and that application continues to do what balance work the application is supposed to do. That could be one way. Otherwise, trying to build consent in each of the application and trying to then collect data from database may become complicated. That's what I feel.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
They should just
Makes
open up a page of data, this product, saying that, okay, now you're entering the consent phase. One page gets flashed up on the screen. Our agent on the branch level fills everything, says submit, the screen goes away, and the application journey continues. Something like we have to do.
Absolutely.
So,
Also, Sanjay, my another question was also around it. Let's say, for example, we have customer assisted applications as well. Correct. Majority of our applications are customer assisted, where our field officers are, doing the loan journey on behalf of the customer, where we were just, planning a SMS customer ko chala jaye with a link, and they can just fill that consent form and give a sign off there. I can see there are few integrations as well, which is present here from WhatsApp and everything. I could see in the previous slides.
So I think we should activate this app whenever the need for consent seeking comes, because it's good to have a central repository for consent, so that everything is tracked from one database rather than.
Absolutely. If in case certainly we are getting the consent management, then this will act as a central repository for all consents, regardless of the applications.
Plus it will tag, for example, when the page opens up to fill up consent, when the consent is taken, it will also give an additional field saying that this has been taken from one LMS app for giving the loan on this date. That all tagging we can get it done. So we can then do filtering, querying, all that can be done. But the page opening should happen from this product, and it should come as an interface in between. That's what I feel would be a good use case to implement.
Makes sense. Nitinji, you were saying something.
Yeah. So what Sanjay sir was saying, that this is a CDN form. So now what we do is, if you have to integrate the consent on any of the applications, you can have the CDN form published on that application, just like cookies, and then you can open this consent form. You can fill in the information, and then you can provide your consent. So that is the way you can do it. So what Sanjay sir
Even
was
if
saying, yeah.
it's supported for mobile applications, right?
Yes, yes. So even on mobile, you can have the consent created, and then you can have that consent populated, and here all the consent will be then recorded.
Any suggestion, or probably you had done it for any organization? Let's say, for example, there are, they already have this journey ongoing, and they want to seek consent from all their customers again. अगर वो करना हो तो कैसे कर सकते हैं? ऐसा कुछ किया आपने पहले?
हाँ sir, within India, so sorry, within India we are executing projects for companies based out of the mutual fund industry, and but for a bank in the Middle East we've already done this. So they had the consent and the DSPM solution with them. Now within India, since DPDP is very new within India, so everybody is now building process and working around it. So we are in discussion with 4 or 5 customers where they are asking us to design specifics to like CDNs and everything. So whatever discussions we had, we have incorporated on the platform, and as per the delivery, we deliver it to the customers.
No, because even this is one of our use case as of now. As of now, तो possible नहीं है. Let's say for example, 3 crore का customer database है. सबसे consent वापस लेना है. So
अभी हमारे पास last week एक query आई थी. So again, that company is one of the biggest mutual fund company within India. So उनके पास they have around 400 or 500 TB of data which they need to scan and discover. So every organization is first starting with data discovery classification. Once they have the governance in place, then they are moving to consent and DSAR. So everybody is waiting for the DPDP points, and then once they come in, the regulations comes in for DPDP, then they would be start working on it. But to start with, every organization is first doing data discovery classification, and in parallel they are building up the data governance framework. So once everything is in place, they start collecting it, and then they start collecting consents and everything and start working on it. Now, one of the biggest users of bank within India, nobody has even started collecting consents and everything. Everybody is still working on, they're still thinking of procuring tools for data discovery classification, and then they start working on all these things.
Okay, ठीक है. Nitinji, moving next to your DSPM solution. Let's say, for example, you're saying that you can integrate with majority of the solutions. Even you pointed emails, correct?
Yes.
It's compatible with G Suite?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say, for example, if the email is lying in the inbox, even that is something you can read and classify, or while it's sending. Oh,
so whatever emails that you have, because it works on data at rest, right? So say for example, there are emails within inbox. It will read all those emails, and then it will put a tag on those emails or labels on those emails. As soon as you click on send button, again those emails would be read, and then a flag would be associated with those emails as soon as you click on send button.
This solution will be sitting where? At the SMTP gateway as well?
No, so whatever requests, whatever emails that you send, so what we do, we integrate with the API directly of the email gateway of the solution. Say for example, for Zoho Click or Zoho or Microsoft, so we integrate the solution directly with the APIs or the session keys, and then it will scan, and then it will further send the email towards the gateway.
Understood. So in short, it will create a hop.
Yes.
Okay.
But it is a seamless hop. So it's on the fly that it will scan the data and tag it and then send it forward.
So we already have one hop, which is our email DLP.
Okay. So that's what I said. See, DLPs generally work on the metadata. They do not work on the actual data. Our solution works on the actual data. So that is the major difference between a DLP and a DSPM solution. Now, since DSPM is upcoming technology, so definitely it is more scalable than a standard DLP solution that any organization has.
Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, just sorry. All right. Yeah. So, ठीक है. I mean, I think that flow is something I need to understand, because as of now, kaise the email that gets triggered, the necessary headers are added, and that header is forwarded to the SMTP gateway, and that is forwarded to our Netscope DLP for further action and sent back to this thing, G Suite
वो मैं
SMTP. These are
वो
few
मैं
things
पूछ
we
लूंगा
have
सर.
to evaluate later.
श्योर
ठीक है.
श्योर वो मैं पूछ लूंगा क्योंकि
अब
इतना
I hope
डिटेल.
आप मेरे questions थोड़ा note कर लीजिएगा. That's all.
हाँ हाँ, I've noted your question, sir. Don't worry.
I think anyways you are recording the call.
हाँ.
Okay. Mask. अच्छा, what level of permission is required for integrations? For G Suite हो गया या GCP हो गया. What permission do you need?
Ashwini, can you please help me with this question?